right, good afternoon everyone and welcome. I'm Nate Martin, Commissioner of Public Works for the City of Buffalo, and I just wanted to update everyone this afternoon on the latest information related to the upcoming snowstorm. I want to thank all my colleagues and officials from City Hall joining me, and Ken Kajawa from National Grid, and we'll have some comments from Ken a little bit later. But first, let me just walk through the latest information of what we know from our recent conversations with the National Weather Service. So the storm will be starting Thursday night, as many of you are aware. Overnight Thursday night, we can expect anywhere from 12 to 18 inches of snow entering the city. Throughout the day Friday, we could expect another 12 to 18 inches of snow during the day. Overnight Friday night, another 8 to 12 inches potentially could hit the city. Tapers off a little bit on Saturday, 4 to 6 inches potentially expected during the day, and another 4 to 6 overnight Saturday night. And then the band would head north for a brief period of time, come back across the city Sunday, moving south, so there'll be a little brief hit of snow Sunday as well. So, we're all Buffalonians. We've lived here for a lot of years. We know how to handle the snow, but this is not going to be a typical snow event. It's going to be heavy bands of snow, wet snow, and it'll be very significant levels that we anticipate seeing here across the city. In terms of our response, we're moving forward with a multifaceted, multi-layered approach. First off, Deputy Commissioner Jackson will have our city fleet on the streets, working the streets as soon as the snow hits. So we're ready for that. We're geared up. You see a number of our vehicles in the background, and our team is prepped for that, including the equipment and heavy operators. In addition to the city plows, we've already coordinated assistance with New York State DOT. Their equipment will be on our streets as well, assisting our city personnel, and we thank them for their assistance at this point in time. Also assisting will be the Department of Homeland Security, who has committed equipment to the city as well, so we have them enlisted. And again, we thank them for their assistance in helping the city. And on top of that, we are currently engaging multiple private contractors to be on board and remove snow as needed from streets and parts of the city starting on Friday. Just a general note, this is going to be a significant event, and if you are traveling, please use caution if you're out and about on the roads. Visibility is just going to be very difficult with the amount of snow and some of the winds that are expected. All told, when you add all the resources combined, we're over 100 significant large pieces of equipment on our streets clearing the snow for all the city. So we have a good fleet and force out there. One of the issues that we've had in the past is parking. I cannot emphasize enough and urge and ask all of the residents of the city to please follow those parking guidelines effective tomorrow. The storm's going to hit tomorrow evening, maybe 7 o'clock we're seeing. So if you can get your cars in place to follow those parking guidelines, that's really going to help us from a coordination standpoint. That was a little bit of difficulty in getting some of our equipment down the streets last year. So that assistance from all of the residents is really important to help our streets team. And as always, we're a city of good neighbors, so I'd ask that you all take some time to look in on your friends or family or neighbors that might need a little help and help them out. But again, use caution and assistance and use some common sense when you're out there in the storm. Related to the snow tracking and equipment itself, as you can see on the screen, we do have our GPS system that is live and active, so residents of the city will be able to log in to the Snow Fleet website link that's on the City of Buffalo website and see the status of their streets, as we've talked about previously. As it relates to parking, Deputy Commissioner, when our vehicles, our large plows are coming down the streets, we're urging everybody to get on the right side, but if we run into a vehicle that needs to be moved because it's on the wrong side of the street, our plows will actually, signal their horn, correct? So when you hear that as a resident, maybe a little more forceful on that, we'll see, but we just take a look out. If you know it's your vehicle, we're just asking you to get that moved as you can safely onto the right side of the street. Again, it's helping us and our team clear the streets effectively for everyone. Buff Alert is the alert system for the City of Buffalo. I know the link is available on our website, and we'll distribute that as well. So we urge all the residents to sign up for Buff Alert, which will give alerts related to travel and weather, upcoming events, and impacts on the streets. Garbage, we will go on as scheduled pickup tomorrow for garbage and recycling. So Thursday will go on as scheduled. Right now we are suspending garbage for Friday. So that is noted as of this time. So garbage for Friday is suspended. We will resume normal operations on Monday for recycling and sanitation. And that kind of closes my general comments. I'd ask Ken to come to the podium for a few words.
Sure. My name's Ken Kajawa. Last name spelled Kujawa, and I'm Regional Director for National Grid. Thanks, Commissioner Martin. As the city's preparing for snow removal, National Grid is preparing in the event that we see any potential power outages that may occur on our system. So in the event that our customers do realize a power outage at their house or their business, please call National Grid at 1-800-867-5222. Customers can also get updates on outages and our power restoration efforts by going to our company's website, which is nationalgridus.com. Friday night, we will be holding all crews in our company service centers across Western New York. And in addition to that, we are bringing in outside resources that will be pre-positioned in Western New York to help us with any power restoration efforts, again, in the event if we realize any significant power outages. Customers need to treat all downed wires as if they are live. In the event that you come across a downed wire, again, please call National Grid at 1-800-867-5222, or you can call 911 and they will communicate that to our Western Regional Control Center here in Buffalo. And then finally, for customers that have portable generators, if you are going to operate that portable generator because you've lost power, first, please open your main breaker for the safety of our crews so you don't backfeed onto our system. And then secondly, make sure that you place that generator as far from your home as possible so you eliminate the risk of carbon monoxide getting into your home. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. And at this point in time, I'd open it up for any questions. Yeah, they've got heavy equipment for plowing streets, so they're going to be providing us equipment to help plow streets as needed. Yeah, it's No, I mean the Department of Homeland Security. So they have a pretty significant fleet. Yeah. Newer equipment has newer vehicles have newer equipment in terms of visibility, in terms of defrosting and sight lines. So they've been engineered more effectively from a driver's standpoint. So you might not be able to see it from this distance, but if you are sitting in it, and maybe Henry, you could speak to that a little bit more, it does make a difference. So Henry Jackson, Deputy Commissioner.
Henry Jackson, last name Jackson. Yeah, so in the new technology, I mean, it changes all the time, and with these new plows, the snow fogs them up, you can't see clear, so there's new things that are attached to the windshield and the side view mirrors to help the driver see. It's a defogging system, so yes, sir.
A travel ban is something that we're, as a city, as a region, it's something we'd look at and continue to evaluate as conditions change. We don't have a time frame right now of when anything like that might happen, but it's something that we're going to be thinking about looking as we monitor the storm. Yeah. Yeah, certainly it's a challenge that we're going to take on as soon as the snow starts. So we are going to have that equipment on the streets and available. The parking issue on side streets had a lot to do with it, and I'm not saying that was the only issue. The amount of snowfall, the record kind of temperatures and snowfall that we had in January last year were a significant part of that issue that we had. So, hopefully we get those cars parking on the right side of the street, allows our equipment to go down, but we're just attacking it much faster in terms of the response overall. Yeah, I think, I referenced it a couple times. Use common sense, I think, might be the most, the best advice to give an individual resident. So, if you have to go out for any reason, please use extreme caution. If you are clearing your sidewalks or your driveway, just do that carefully. It's a heavy snow, so just, use that care and caution with yourself first off, but if you're out and about, be careful as well. The staffing numbers, well, we've got a full staff of drivers, so the specific numbers, I don't have that number off the top of my head, but I know we have a full slate of drivers ready to get in the vehicles. Yeah, we've been working closely with Commissioner Wagner from parking about that very topic. So ideally, the cars moved, and then we can come back and plow. But we do have the coordination with that group and that department to do a mini tow if needed to get the car off the street. So again, we can clear the streets for the residents. That's really what it's about. So hopefully we don't run into that. We have people following the parking guidelines. Inevitably, it might happen, and we'll do what we can to help clear that car out of the way to really clear the snow. Yeah. Yeah, if there's a car. So if I miscommunicated that, no, it's not just honking that we're here to plow your street. It is, we're going to be plowing your street. Yeah. Now, we're going to be plowing your street 24/7 when the snow hits. We're going to be honking if there's an issue with a car that we think we might be able to move it quickly. Well, we have ongoing communication. We've been in contact with the county and the state today, officials. So we have a coordinated effort on that. Communication will be a coordinated communication back to the public. So we'll make sure that we're responding to the county or responding to the state as needed. But we are in communication with the other two levels of government. Yeah, as I said earlier, the resources we have currently are related to street clearing, so plows from the DOT and also additional equipment from Homeland Security, which you talked about. Again, street clearing equipment is really what we have providing. So, at this point in time, that's our initial response. If we need to move differently, we'll do that. We are enlisting outside contractors for some of that removal as well. So, yes, we're looking at, again, a multi-layered, multifaceted approach. Yeah, those speed humps are designed and thought through and planned and installed to not impact the plow. Certainly, there's a speed with which any vehicle goes down that street needs to be careful. So the plow blade is actually able to go over that speed bump and not adversely impact the clearing operation. Thank you very much.